Vault Dwellers, my name is Nacho Bidness, and this is episode 35 of my Fallout 4 No Loot Challenge Run. The rules on Xbox here are pretty simple. We're not allowed to use the A button to take anything out of the world or out of containers and put it into my character's inventory. The notable exceptions are crops in my own settlements. We're playing on survival mode and we need food to eat and things to barter with to buy the guns and bullets and junk necessary to play the game. If you enjoy these silly challenge runs, please do subscribe to the channel so that you can see them all, and please also hit the like button. I would like the channel to grow, and that is the best way to make that happen. If you don't like, please tell me why in a comment so that I can try and do better for you next time. A dislike without context means that I don't know what it is that I should be doing to make better content for you. Nick is very insistent about talking to me right now, and I don't really want to talk to him. We tried getting the Eddie Winters holotapes with him the last episode, and he refused to pick them up, which means that we are probably never going to get Nick's companion perk, which is too bad. I enjoy the story far more than I enjoy the perk. The perk is kind of dud, but still, I think that it's one of the better written companion stories in Fallout 4. At this point, we're not going to get to experience that. Nevertheless, we have a lot to do, and first off, we need to try and address my character's inventory here because we are over encumbered. We bought some new toys at the Institute, and I am going to do something here that you might not be expecting, because Experiment 18A is really designed with a legendary perk that is set up more for being really a machine gun. But it turns out that the only weapon that I have that's not currently legendary is actually my pistol. And this thing actually makes a fairly decent submachine gun. So we're going to leave the improved automatic barrel in place, and we're going to change this over to a comfort grip and turn it into a pistol. It's a kind of heavy pistol, but still it is a pistol. And let's put I think we're going to put a reflex sight on this and call it good, because we're not trying to be sneaky with this. This is our holdout weapon for when we get swarmed, and we just need to take down as many enemies as we can as quickly as possible and get as many shots off of VATS while we can. So I don't get to pull the trigger as many times in VATS as I would with the 10mm pistol, but each pull of the trigger is several shots, so it all kind of evens out, and in my opinion this ends up being the more powerful weapon. So we are going to have to get some ammo for that. We don't have any ammo for it right now. As for our other weapons, nothing else that we can do with weapons for the moment. But we also got some new armor last time, and that includes a new chest piece, which it is strange to me that I can improve over the nanofilament material that's already there. I don't really know what's up with that, but for some reason we can. And I am satisfied with the ultralight build. We are having some trouble with carry weight, and so keeping the weight down is good enough for me. There's really nothing here. If there was anything that made me more sneaky, I would probably go for that, but it is really not. As for the paint, you know what? We joined the Addon Cats not too long ago, so let's go ahead and switch all of our armor paint over to Addon Cats paint. And we also are going to do that to our, let's see, we've got a helmet and a right arm that we're replacing. So let's go ahead and take our leg armor and change that over to Addon cats. Let's see, there's the right leg, here's the left leg, and we can also change our left arm because we are keeping that. So, as far as the helmet here, it is already actually the nanofilament material, can't be improved any further. And we can at least apply the paint job for it. And the right arm is something that we can improve, although oddly enough, the nanofilament that I took off the chest is now being applied to the arm because they didn't get experience, I didn't use resources for some reason. I just took it off the chest, put a better one on the chest, and then moved it to the arm. And as for this one, what are we going to do? We don't have a shadowed option. So I think that since it's already got AP refresh speed on it, that maybe stabilized is actually the right call here. We'll try it out and see how it does, and see if we want to keep it that way. Same thing when it comes to paint. We're going to put the Addon Cat's paint on it, and let's change our color of our backpack. We're going to change that to black. Otherwise, no changes to that. And so here we go. We've got some new armor to put on and see how this looks. And I have already looked at this in practice run, and it doesn't look great. Another point to make here is that the synth helmet covers your whole face, which means that I don't get to wear control of sunglasses anymore. Now, that means that I, instead of getting +1 agility and perception, and another perception here, like a total of 3 perk points, I'm only getting 2. And furthermore, I am giving up a point of charisma and intelligence, so it ends up kind of being not as good. I could get 3 perk points off of my head, and now I'm only getting 2. But you look at the damage resistance and energy resistance, 16 versus 17 and 18. I'll take the resistance. I don't really need the charisma or the intelligence, and my perception is already quite high. So, what to do about this carry weight problem, though, because now that we have switched over to our new gear, we not only have slightly less physical damage resistance, more energy resistance, but still a little bit less DR. We're going to do better with VATS and VATS AP point regeneration, but we also lost a point of strength here from the chest piece, and that means that we are extra over encumbered now. So I have gone and prepped my little museum of Mary over here, and we're gonna retire a couple more of pieces of equipment here. So this armor rack, I am going to temporarily disappear this because it's hard to get back into this weapon rack to store our retired guns. So we are going to retire the advanced 10mm pistol. The nice thing about this is if I decide, you know what, that energy pistol that I've made is just not working out for me, I can always buy another of those 10mm pistols. Meantime, I think that really I just am not using the Rockville Slugger. And, I just never think to use it. There's really no more reason for me to lug this thing around. So that is going to get rid of some carry weight also. And let's go ahead and bring that mannequin back. And we've got some armor pieces that we can retire. So we can put away our chest piece and helmet and these sunglasses. We just don't need these anymore now. I also have a right arm to get rid of, and I guess I'd just like to, as much as possible, have the legendaries on stuff. So this one, the right arm on this mannequin was just our very first piece of metal armor. It was a good service for us, but the Overseer's right arm guard, we have used that even longer, and so there you go. I'd like to maybe put all the combat armor on this one, but I'd have to pick things up and move them around, and that's just not allowed. So, anything else we can do there? Not really. And the current time is just after midnight, and we have some buying and selling to do. Let's see. Actually, we might be able to take care of our immediate needs right here, because we need a doctor, and here's Doc Weathers. We can get cured.
You have any of those symptoms? Tell me.
So let's cure the disease that we have.
Too many miles on the road. At least the pay is terrible.
And I see Cricket over there.
Anything else bothering you?
We need some ammo for our new plasma pistols. So let's put on our charisma gear, which is, oh, you know what? Shouldn't have retired my helmet just yet, because I don't have a newsboy cap yet to replace it. I guess I'll just have to hope that by morning Agatha might have one.
Hey, Lucas.
Lucas, you do sometimes sell clothes in addition to armor,
Let's
so
see what you've got.
maybe you have
Pretty. Don't stop.
a little hat for us to get us a little more charisma. No such luck. Okay, well,
Cricket.
I still am going to do some bartering with charisma, charisma. Well, we'll do bartering with charisma, but we're also going to barter with Cricket here, because I just want to take care of this right now. I need to get rid of my 10mm ammo. It's no longer any use to me. I also need a whole bunch of plasma rounds. So how much do you got? 144. And not maybe as much as I would prefer, because these are, with a submachine gun essentially, we'll run through them really fast, but gosh, they are expensive. So maybe it's all for the best. And we also have some other things to look at here, because we got this hazmat suit. I think that I'm going to keep it, because I don't want to run the risk of running into a big radiation problem and not having another way around. For example, the beryllium agitator, if we end up going that route, I can't pick up the hazmat suits that the game developers conveniently left in that room, right? I need to have a hazmat suit with me. Frag mines, you just kind of never know. I was able to let go of the Rockville Slugger because I wasn't using it, but gosh, I just can't make myself not carry some frag mines. Regarding drugs, they are so light that I just don't see a reason not to have them, even though here again, this is something that I just am not using very much. Actually, let's go ahead. By the time I think to maybe try some medics, I'm probably already dead. And Marla cakes, these were given to me by, I think, June at Warwick Homestead. What was her name? As a reward for doing the Addon Cat's quest. Never know when I might need to do an underwater section, so we're going to keep those for underwater breathing. Do I need 5 of them? Since I don't even have a plan for that, no, I am going to sell a couple. We're also going to go down a little bit on our produce. We never run out. In fact, for now at least, I am going to go down to 1 of everything on the produce and commit to eating some of the steaks and other things that I have been hoarding. Just never ran out. Never really even came all that close. And even the longest treks that I have had to make, like down to the glowing sea, I've had plenty of food and also water. We don't need to look around 8. We can go ahead and go down to 2. The Nuka Cola, in case I get tired, haven't used it. When I've gotten tired, I've just said, okay, I'll just go find a bed. So I'm going to go take another one of those out of my inventory. Rad-X and Runaway. I'm going to go down 1 on the Runaway. And as I said, those steaks, we're going to commit to eating those. The soups, we've already gone down a little bit. We've used a couple and have not replenished them. Stim packs, I have not run into a situation where I've run out yet when I was carrying 8, so we can go down on those somewhat. Everything here in the miscellaneous tab is weightless except for bobby pins. We're not carrying an excess of those. We can get rid of all of these mods, although I think they're not terribly valuable. They are weight that we don't need to be lugging around. And even on my longest trip, I did not use up 8-hole fusion cores. I don't think I ever used more than 3 on the trip through the glowing sea. So here again, we can go down a little bit. And I think that is everything that we're going to get rid of on our inventory. How are we doing on our carry weight? Not great, but it's enough. I just don't see anything else that I feel like I should be taking the risk of getting rid of it. So we actually are going to go just a little heavier. I'm going to sleep until daytime and see if Agatha's going to have a newsboy cap or a pompadour wig for Mary for charisma gear, and we'll buy some more plasma ammo from Smiling Mary. No need to make you wait for that, though. I'm going to join you when we meet our contact near the Libertalia. Sorry, there were 2 other things that I forgot that I wanted to cover while I was here at Hangman's Alley. First, this new armor looks kinda ridiculous. It has a collar around Mary's neck. That's okay, I guess, but it protects exactly no vital organs. Like, it just puts a big strap right across your boobs to kind of make them pop out a little bit, but doesn't cover her heart or lungs or liver or anything. It looks so dumb. And the Addon Cat's paint job does not impress. So even though I think this is a better outfit for Mary functionally, man, it just looks awful. Also, I wanted to check in on Mama Murphy with Murphy Vision, because last time we built Mama her crack house to try and crack her spirit, and I just want to check in and make sure that she is suffering appropriately. If you're not aware, or if you've not stuck with the series since the beginning, Mama Murphy was assigned to the surgery chair in Sanctuary briefly. She knew a lot about drugs. It was the closest thing to a doctor we had, and instead of fixing Mary's face, she made it worse. She tortured Mary, and Mary is never forgiven her. And so this latest attempt to try and get Mama to confess has just left her sitting here with a whole big pile of drugs that is visible through a glass window, but Mama can't touch him because if she tries to go through that doorway, it is going to cause the room to get incinerated. So, yep, she is still just sitting there thinking about what she's done. And good for her. Let her rot. I am on my way to Libertalia for sure this time, I promise. Well, we're not quite at the Libertalia. We are just stepping out of the borders of Nordhagen Beach here, but you can see Libertalia on the horizon there, and I have actually already started this mission at Croup Manor and met the synth at the marina there, the wharf, and slowly worked my way across the floating boats and platforms and everything that surround the front of the Libertalia itself, and taken out a lot of raiders using my sniper rifle. We also have a level up to take because we had a lot of enemies between Hangman's Alley and here, and we did kill a bunch of raiders. And we've discussed before that I'm going to take all the ranks of Grim Reaper Sprint next. Now, the top level of 35% is not spectacular, but since I can usually get 3 to 4 kills out of any rounded vats, it means that I'm fairly close to refilling my critical meter every time I need it. Meanwhile, Curie, I need you to come over here because we are all loaded down with mute fruit and corn and potatoes. We got a bunch of corn from County Crossing. We've got a bunch of mute fruit from Nordhagen Beach. I actually replanted all the potatoes, or most of the potatoes that I got from Croup Manor. So just continuing to get it so that I have settlements that are just producing adhesive components, because I can access that from pretty much anywhere on the map that there's a settlement, and use those to not only make some XP but also make some money. Meanwhile, I think that I want Curie to hold my hazmat suit and all of this corn and mute fruit, and let's see if she can hold these potatoes for us as well. And did I accidentally pick up? Yes, I did. Here we go. You can have that piece of leg armor back. And we are not over encumbered anymore, and Curie has got everything that she needs, and I've picked up a little something from her that I need that you may or may not have actually seen while I tried to go past it. I will say that I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well from here, but the stabilized mod on my arm seems to be working pretty good. The weapon sway from my sniper rifle is almost gone, and that is excellent. I love it. For now, we have a trip to make to try and get out in front of the Libertalia and do it without really getting caught. In fact, where is that spotlight coming from? There it is. So we can try and shoot out some lights and do some other things to avoid getting caught. Certainly doing this at night should help. And I see that there is a raider out there. Not a raider. Mannequins. Wait, there's a raider, but that raider's on the Libertalia itself, so we will let that one slide. There is X688. He's dashing around, probably very confused about what in the world I am doing, going around messing with settlements and stuff instead of actually doing the mission. Okay, yes, so there is one raider left, and he's staggered and down he goes. So let's go ahead and get away, and hopefully that means that yes. So there is a person on the Libertalia itself that has a fat man, and we definitely don't want them to spot us, because even blind firing, they can hit us with a fat man. So, just going to take this little swing here, and we'll take these narrow planks off to this platform. This is where I want to be, because I mentioned that the crew of Libertalia has a mini nuke, and well, I have a fat man too, but mine is better. Mine launches like 18 warheads at once. And I figure if I shoot the front of that boat from about here with the big boy, with the MIRV launcher, that, well, I kind of hope that that just means it's going to clear the whole damn thing. Let's find out. Not one experience point gain, which means that that didn't do a thing. So, at least we got eyes on this, oh shoot, well, let's get our sniper rifle back out. Waste of a mini nuke, doggone it. Well, you know, you just never know how some things are going to turn out. Anyways, I am going to try and take this person out, because they are holding a mini nuke. If they get a shot off on me, that's pretty bad. And I know there's a bunch more raiders that are up there, but until Vats can kind of point them out to me, I don't know where they are. And really, since they are kind of poking their heads out on a very slow basis, we can probably just take advantage of concentrated fire, although I am running through ammo pretty fast, down to 52 bullets in this gun. Alright, is anybody else going to show up? Doesn't look like it, so I am going to push up. And I think at this point it's probably time to just put on some music and try and stop commentating, and we'll stop and say something if there's something worth saying.
Hold up a moment, ma'am. There's something important I need to tell you.
And our synth companion, or I shouldn't say companion, Carrie's our companion, but our synth escort has caught up to us. What are you talking about, Mr. Corser?
I'm going to give you B592's reset code. If he hears the code phrase, it'll reset his cognitive processes and make him docile. You'll need to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code Gamma 71 Epsilon. Once he's shut down, I can transport him safely back to the Institute.
I don't think we're going to do
I'm
that.
not going to destroy this man's identity and free will. Killing him would be more humane.
I agree. What you're suggesting is akin to murder.
It's not a man, it's a synth. A synth that's confused and dangerous. We can restore it to its proper functions, make it whole again. Ma'am, I can't force you to use the reset code, but I know it's what Father would want. I hope you'll consider that. That's all, ma'am. Ready when you are.
Alright, well, frankly, what Father wants is not necessarily what I want. And, yeah, there is a legendary shotgun here, and it's pretty good, but we can't take it. Meanwhile, I also forgot, Carrie had mentioned that she wanted to talk to me. So what's up? Because now's a good time, right?
I begged to become a synth for a reason. For science. To be able to make real progress in studying the medical arts. I have had a breakthrough. Using a new strain of mute fruit, I have discovered a way to greatly improve the restorative properties of stim packs. I realize this is not earth-shaking, but it means that inspiration does exist.
Oh, that's great.
I know it wasn't easy, but you did it.
I find my head full of notions. Experiments. Many will fail, but maybe I will make more discoveries. And you have given me this capacity. And beyond that, so much more. The world is full of life, possibilities. You are very dear to me. My close friend. And I hope I can return the many favors you have given me.
You could return those favors with a perk. So, you are also my friend.
Good. Very good. Here is a sample of my new stim pack. Now I must share it with the world.
Alright, I don't remember what her perk actually does. So, Combat Medic. Once per day, you heal 100 points if your health falls below 10%. You know, that's pretty good. Considering the amount of time and effort it takes to get her perk, I feel like it is at least close to worthwhile. Certainly better than the effort to reward ratio you get with Nick's perk. And which way are we supposed to go? I don't remember how I thought that door brought us in here. So, yeah, where's the door that takes us? Ah, in the ceiling. Got it.
Well done. By your gear, I'm gonna guess you two are agents just like me. So, made it to the top. Is the Institute so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
So here's the thing. It's not that the Institute is stealing from gangs, it's the... Well, you need to go
Gabriel,
home.
you aren't who you think you are. You're a synth, and we're here to take you home.
Sid! What the hell are you talking about? I remember my whole life. I know where I grew up and who my parents were. Explain that to me.
Well, you can surrender or
That's the way
die.
you want it? Then let's finish this!
I didn't actually remember that persuasion was a possibility here. I might have had a better chance if I'd had my persuasion gear on. Nevertheless, only takes a couple shots for each of these guys, and with bats, criticals, we can knock them down and kill them. Not too much of a problem. And it looks like
This is X680. Ready to relay with
looks like he must have said the recall code. So good riddance to both of them. I don't necessarily think that what we did here was a good thing insofar as wasn't good for Gabriel, but was that his name is? I don't know, whatever the Raider's name was. But I think it was a good thing for the Commonwealth. After all, less Raiders is better, right? So we will go ahead and relay back into the Institute from the blank here. All right, so I think we probably need to go have a conversation with Father, Son, whoever.
A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
And since we missed the opportunity to do it earlier, let's go ahead and put on our charisma gear.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I need...
I am kind of glad that it's
Gabriel and his
over.
gang were sick bastards, hanging their victims up like trophies. I'm just glad it's over.
While we can do nothing for Gabriel's victims, we can at least take comfort in the knowledge that the threat has been removed. But enough about that. The task is done, and you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
My quarters. Now, if I was playing this, more... I've tried to have, like, some roleplay reasons for doing the things that I do, but ultimately this is about the rule set, right? As a roleplay element, I would say that it should be fine to take things out of my own quarters, but as far as, this is a challenge run, we are not going to take whatever we find in here. Hello, X688. Are you available to be my companion? Maybe not. So, yep. At the very least, there's an awful lot of ceramic available. I do like ceramic. Good for electronics. So, I wonder, will the shower remove rats? Doesn't look like it. Too bad. Can I get a drink in here anywhere? Also doesn't look like it. Too bad. So, I don't know. You talked about equipment and stuff, Father, but I'm kind of not seeing it. Like, what equipment is in here? Some flower pots and cigarettes? Like, that's that's not equipment. At least not useful equipment. At least the bed works. So we'll go ahead and drop a save before we move on to our next objectives, which is going to be the Battle of Bunker Hill. Here again, I think that we are going to
Reporting status.
we're going to go along, but we're going to be more subverting the Institute than actually siding with the Institute. I think I know how to do that, but because there are some rogue synths that they won't recover. Oh, Father, you've gone down another level.
Son?
Ah, hello, Mother. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
Mary usually tries to
I try and talk it
things
out. See if things can be resolved peacefully.
An admirable goal. And yet we find ourselves in a situation where something more significant must be done. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They mean well. I mean, they believe that synths are
They're
sentient.
only doing what they think is right.
You dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response
Okay,
is
so
necessary.
we had one bad result out of how many
And need to
railroad
reacquire them before the
liberations of
Railroad can
synths.
hide them.
I'm not sure that saying that one of them turned out bad is justification for meaning that no other synths can ever escape being enslaved.
Where are the synths
Where are we
located?
going?
A small settlement at the old Bunker Hill Monument. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
This is a waste of time.
This
Let those
is a
synths
waste of my
go.
time.
Like many things at the Institute, this has ramifications beyond the immediate objective. Keep that in mind. A Corsair will be waiting for you near Bunker Hill. You'll need him.
Alright, well, Battle of Bunker Hill is going to allow us to have Bunker Hill as a settlement once that's over, which is great. So, I am low on bullets, so let's see if there's a vendor here that carries 308 ammo, and if not, we can always go back to Hangman's Alley, have a sleep, and
Welcome.
see about trying to buy
Require
some
additional
bullets there.
supplies.
Sure.
What do you got?
Let's take a look.
Not the bullets that I need. Shoot. It's alright. Should be plenty available to us in Hangman's Alley. So, I'll top up on food and water and all that good stuff and get the big boy back to Mary. Get slept up and all that good stuff at Hangman's Alley, and then head on over to our next objective. Well, here we are outside of Bunker Hill, and here is our contact. And things are starting to get complicated for Mary. She has mixed feelings. She's not sure if the synths that are escaping are sentient beings that deserve rights and free will and a choice to choose their lives, or if they're malfunctioning machines. But in either case, the Institute needs to stop making synths. Furthermore, there's a lot of good that the Institute could be doing, but they're just not. They're being very selfish in the way that they're conducting themselves. And so Mary is willing to play along for now in the hopes of maybe influencing the Institute
I've
to
been waiting for you.
do the right things from the inside. So what is the situation?
What's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed? Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear?
What about
Shouldn't we try to
casualties?
avoid killing anyone?
Irrelevant. Any threats between us and the target are to be eliminated. Only the synths matter.
And with so many civilians around, we should be extra careful, yes?
Here are the recall codes. Follow me. SR
I don't know, man.
reports indicate
Like,
the
your
Brut
willingness
exchange.
to
Go and shoot.
kill people just for being in the way is not sitting well with Mary. We're gonna actually try and do this without actually killing anybody. It's a good thing that Mary is so doggone sneaky that we can just blow right past all of these different people outside. And since the gate is closed and locked, we're going to have to go around to the side entrance. We just stay here where it's nice and dark, and look at, oh, you know, that railroad, like they're hostile, but they can run right into you and don't see it. So let's get in the basement, and we have taken some serious hits, so let's also get some healing going. I think we'll do a stim pack and some water. And how does that do us? We are still not doing so great, so let's add a steak on top of that. Very dangerous, and I'd like to let this danger fade. Now, here's the thing. This guy was shooting at railroaders and civilians outside, and he is going to be very insistent that we take these synths back. Meanwhile, Mary is not about to take such permanent action as to erase the minds of potential people. And so, it is with some small amount of regret, because she sees this guy as a slave, that she is going to betray him and take him down. We are told to deal with the escape synths, and I am going to at least make that attempt. There's a lot of heavy combat going on in here, but interestingly, the railroad now somehow is no longer hostile to us. Maybe somebody saw us kill that courser. Hard to say. And as for the Brotherhood, we have never really even interacted with the Brotherhood. So I wouldn't say that they're friendly, but they're at the very least neutral. You know, we had that one aborted quest with Paladin Dance and nothing else. So these guys can all frankly worry about killing themselves and each other. And we're just not going to get involved. Let's go say hello to these synths that are cowering in the basement. Guns away, and
Excuse me.
do you have anything?
Thank you.
Okay.
You've given us another chance at life. We won't forget it.
Alright.
Thank you for sparing us.
Do you have anything else to say?
Sparing us.
Hey there.
So there's really nothing we can do to, quote, deal with these synths, although we have these recall codes, and I feel like they're in better hands. Interesting, there's no in-game object for them. Oh, I don't know, I was going to say they're in better hands with the synths. I was going to drop this with them keep them or destroy them at their own will, but no such luck. Still, we have now one other choice, and that is to go speak with Father at the Institute rooms. I have a suspicion he is not going to be happy with us. May very well kick us out of the Institute, which would be too bad. I have really, really liked being able to teleport back home. But that convenience is not worth compromising their principles. Whoa, so somebody's still hostile to us. Who is it? Or is it just we are caught in crossfire? Maybe there was a lot of shooting. But ultimately, Mary is probably most sympathetic to the railroad here. But, well, this is still none of her business. After all, she is still wanting to try and work on the Institute and make the Institute a better place from the inside. So, let's go have a word with Father. There's still some fighting going on outside, but as long as we keep our heads down, we should be able to walk right past it. Good Lord. Mary's not a real heavy combat person, so maybe it's for the best that this is how we resolved this particular quest. I'll see you at the CIT ruins. I have waited until dawn because dawn just feels like the right time for this conversation and for Father to make his one and only expedition outside in his entire life. I kind of expect that we're about to get kicked out of the Institute, but I have put on my charisma gear just in case there's some way that we can talk our way out of that. So, son,
in all my
what's
years,
going
I've
on?
never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
I beg to differ. I have built an entire network of free settlements. Now, people work hard, but they're not slaves, and they're free to go whenever they want. Like your sense. It's really not so bad out here.
So bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it.
Why do you get to decide that?
I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
At a cost too great, who are you gets to decide what the cost of existence is worth? But if you ask any random wastelander whether they wish that they had never been born, most of them would say that life was worth living.
Are you following?
And as for us being rescued, they didn't rescue me. They left me frozen.
For 60 years.
They did. And for good reason. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
Well, you don't poke a mama bear. You don't steal a woman's child and then expect her not to move heaven and earth to get it back. But dude, I'm just an experiment to you? Like, why did it take you so long to let me out?
Why let me out now? After all this time.
Well, that's hard to explain. Certainly, it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
After all this time, for me, it has been the blink of an eye. And you, instead of sending Kellogg and a team to retrieve me, you just woke me up and threw me out in the world, terrified, on the verge of starving, with nothing to help me, and you are... That's terrible.
This is science to you. It's pathetic. All of it.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Perhaps in time you'll see it differently. Soon, I hope. I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events. Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
Mary's gonna play it cagey.
We got our asses kicked. Does it matter how?
The chances of failing this mission were so astronomically low that yes, it does matter. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Sean, you are a piece of shit. But I'll go to your damn meeting again, hoping that somehow I might be able to institute or influence the Institute to do the right thing, because there is so much potential here to help the Commonwealth if they would only, instead of being selfish and continuing to build their utopia on the ground, actually go help the citizens of the Commonwealth. Holy smokes, what can we accomplish? Still have not had an opportunity to give that holotape to Sturgis, but I'm curious what he is going to find on it. And here's a thing that Mary probably did not expect to ever have to do again, and that is attend a meeting, because, well, you know, she was a lawyer before the war. She probably had to go to lots of meetings, but after waking up and the world had ended, she probably never expected to have to do another one, and to be frank, that was okay with her.
Report, ma'am.
I mean, who actually enjoys meetings at work?
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure, with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
Not a peep.
What's Phase 3?
It's very important to us. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
I mean, you could consider sharing what you have with others, but okay, what kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no...
It risks sense, is what you mean.
Simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Well, I don't know. Do you really want to build a reactor underground?
You'll see in time. I promise you that. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I am not overly fond of putting my own mother in harm's way, she has proven more than capable of handling herself.
Not overly fond.
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Please,
Can't be serious.
Everyone, please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my mother as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really? Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? She isn't one of us. She isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe
You
my
get that
mother
right.
has
Scientists
already
don't
proven herself
exactly make
more
the
than
best
capable in that regard.
Inspirational
This will
people
conclude this
leaders.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
The combination of a scientific mind and a natural leader is extraordinarily rare. Still, not overly fond of putting me in harm's way, are you? Is that how you felt when you just abandoned me to the waste? I need a drink of water. but I'm going to come back and we are going to talk this over. I will accept the directorate of the Institute if only because I think maybe we can change course.
Change the world.
Maybe, but clearly there were no ethics professors that made it into the original institute here.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Mother. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
No, it's fine. It's nepotism. Weird reverse nepotism, but it's nepotism, but I'm going to take it.
I can do the job.
Of course you can. That's why I made the decision. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
All right. Well, with a level up in hand, let's go ahead and take care of that right now. We are going to get ourselves another rank of Grim Reaper Sprint. I have to start thinking about what I might do if I do actually end up filling out the luck tree. Let's activate the new quest and go find Allie. Looks like she is just one level down, and
the advantage it will
might even be in this tower. Nope. Further down. Oh my gosh, she's all the way on the ground floor. There you are.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
So I am in charge, but what are we doing?
Over the details. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
Here's the thing. We don't pick things up.
What's a
beryllium agitators or otherwise?
Agitator?
The details would be lost on you. No offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Yeah, I don't think you should come with us.
No way. You're not
probably
really...
going to be useless outside.
You'd be a liability.
Well, that's about the most insulting thing I've heard in a while. Okay, you're on your own then. Good luck. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and they'll get you over to mass fusion in a flash. Pun sort of intended.
Well, here's the thing.
Do you require additional supplies?
I'm not sure that we're going to be able to complete that quest. So
let's see what you have.
I'm going to do a little buying and selling, maybe get some extra food and water, and have a think about what I want to do next. Well, I am curious enough about how this mission goes that I am willing to give it a try. Become an enemy of the Brotherhood of Steel. Well, we were never friends with them to begin with, and I am not thrilled about the idea of never having access to the Brotherhood vendors. I feel like it's unlikely that that will ever happen anyway. In reality, this may very well end up as an expedition to Universe B, as it were, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to complete it or not, and if I can't, and I get stuck in this dungeon, I'm probably going to have to load an earlier save anyways. We already have some Brotherhood enemies here, and that means we should probably go ahead and put our armor on instead of running around in our charisma gear. And we're just going to kind of hide out here. Oh, we probably shouldn't hide out in the oil, but we're just going to see if we can't maybe hide out a little bit and get out of the... Whoop, nope. Let's see what happens if we get this guy. Good. Mass defense has kept us safe, and Grim Reaper Sprint has popped for us. So, if anybody would like to charge around the corner and attack me, oh, who is? Aha. Well, let's see. Can I? Is there a... I can't remember if there's like a weak spot on these vertebrates that we can try for. Not really. So let's go for the gunner that is in there. Hopefully by the fourth shot we'll take him out. Oh boy. Well, we ended up getting the vertebrate anyway, so that's fine, I guess. But we have, gosh, an awful lot of Brotherhood steel around here. We can... I'd like to just find a hot spot to hide for a little bit and kind of catch my breath. Maybe get a sneak attack. Holy smokes.
Please.
Because with half of our health gone and our sneak broken, oops, well, I did not mean to take that, but you know what? Maybe that'll be the right thing to do anyways. Maybe the extra damage will help us out here. So, just kind of skirting around the outside to see because we're still in danger from something somewhere. Yep. Regret taking the psycho. If I was going to take it, I should have taken it a little bit earlier, right?
Target's gone.
So it's at least something that we can buy on a fairly regular basis. So let's see about...
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, I might not be able to get very far in this quest anyway because that card reader needs to be activated.
Have to find the card.
And that requires a Math Fusion ID card. I don't have a companion with me. And that means that, yeah, even though we can come over here and acquire this card...
I don't see the beryllium agitator anywhere. They must have moved it.
Ooh. That requires a hacker perk. And that's recording, and yeah, there's just, even if we find a way to proceed without hacker, we would, well, let me think here. Is there a way that I could get Nick Valentine up here? I don't think that there is. And there's certainly not enough experience points around here to get me to where I can gain some levels and hack that terminal myself. So even if I find a password, I can't pick up the password. But there might be a way to unlock that terminal. One way or another, we're going to have to come back to this. We cannot advance it as of right now. Because even if we find a way to unlock the terminal, I think that probably would make an ID card and put it into our inventory so we wouldn't have to loot. But I can't do it now. So that means that, yes, this does end up as an expedition to Universe B, and I'm going to have to load my save, and instead, actually, can I relay out of here? Because I don't want to go backwards if there's a way around it. So, let's travel. No, they're not going to let me relay out. So yes, we're going to have to load an earlier save, and instead of coming up here, we are going to go and show a holotape to Sturgis and see what he makes of that. Well, we're back at Covenant, but talking to Sturgis is going to have to wait until the next episode. I started putting this one together, realized that this episode was running kind of long, so hope you're looking forward to figuring out where we're going to go from here, and that will be next week. If you enjoyed this episode, please do hit that like button. If you want to see more, you're sure to subscribe. We're getting down towards the end, I think, and I hope you will join me for the rest of the journey. If you didn't like, please tell me why in a comment, because a dislike without context means that I don't know what I should be doing to make better content for you. And floating Brahmins. I just saw that Brahmin literally drop out of the sky out of the corner of my eye. Fantastic. Sometime Fallout 4 just going to fall out. And I hope that you will join me for more Fallout 4 next time. Until then, thank you so much for watching. My name is Nacho Bidness, and I'm saying it's a great big wasteland out there. Let's go have fun in it.